So now is the lesson 2 about the egregora. The lesson 2 is how you manage this. Once you form, when you recognize the egregoras, when you recognize the power of the group, how you manage it. The first thing that you have to understand is each group has a quality. So you have to understand if it's the quality of the group that you want to be. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, and I get you even beyond this. Ask your children, ask your wife or husband, ask your sister or brother, and help them to understand that what the egregora, if the egregora they want to be, they have all these elements. If you don't have these elements, you have to look for a new egregora. When you form an egregora, you have to take care of the quality of the egregora. So selecting the right people to be in the egregora is one of the things that you maintain the quality you want. The other thing that you create for the egregora is the principles. Is this why all the countries, all the companies, they do this not exactly understanding it, they create principles. What is a principle? What is the ethics that I want to get in this? So you make the ethics, you make the principles, you enforce it from the beginning. Because after this, once the egregora happen, after this is difficult to come back. So if I don't force it right now to have this egregora here, for example, that you had the meeting at 3 p.m., if I don't enforce this from the beginning, after it's difficult. It's kind of like creating habits. The egregora is created by the habits, emotions, like actions, habits. Okay? The other thing you have to understand is you have to focus in the egregoras that you select to be. Okay, so if you want to be a great project manager, what is the fucking egregora gonna find to have all the guys like that, to be the best one of this? Do you understand? How can you join this guy? How can you meet these guys? Okay, if you want to be an egregora of health, you know, for our egregora here, we create health. I talk about health. So this the company is going to talk about this. But who is the people we want to meet? Anyways, something that is very important for you to understand and manage is you have different egregoras for different topics of your life. Okay? So you're gonna have one egregor for a family. You have to say, this is my family egregor. How my family egregor is going on? Is it good? Is it bad? Do I need to change something? Do I need to make effort to make it better? So I have a habit in my home. I put some relaxing sounds. If I put some relaxing sounds in my home, I know that's going to interfere in my home, in my family egregor. Do you understand? So anything that you can do to make better your family egregor. You have an egregor for work. So here we're creating our egregor. This meeting is to create the egregor of work. You have an egregor for religion. If you have a religion, when you join them, you're going to have the same beliefs of them. You have an egregor of the hobbies. Perhaps you like a boat, or like fishing, or whatever you want. And you can create an egregor about that. You have an egregor of sports too. Okay? So each element you can have an egregor. This is one of the things. You have different egregors that's going on you right now. Okay? You have different forces that is going on you right now that interferes in who you are. But the point more important to understand is this one. If you have one egregor for each of these stuffs, you're gonna thrive if you know how to choose egregors. But if you make the egregor compete between themselves, if you have the same kind of egregor twice, you're gonna break yourself energetically. This is one of the first lessons that you have to learn. So that's why people that's separating, they pass through a very hard time. They lose all their money, whatever, because in general, people are separated, they have two families. That happens a lot. So when it happens, for example, when you have two different works, when you have two different religions, when you have two different sports, it's less because sports don't interfere so much. But even though, if you have two different sports, you're not going to be good in any one of this. You understand? The most strongest egregors in our life is family, work, and religion. This is in general these three most important egregores that you're gonna have in your life that's gonna make a force on you. Okay? If you have any one of these twice, doing two different things, two families, two different kinds of life. I'm gonna do Uber and painting houses. I have a family here and a family in Tampa, a different wife in Tampa. If you have the egregores, the same egregor twice, you break yourself. You're gonna feel it. If it happens, at least be aware of it. And I would say this, well, I'm fault because of my egregors, that can happen. So if the egregores don't compete between themselves, you can have a very balanced life. Okay? That's the second one. The other lesson that you have to have about egregores is one can drive the other ones. You cannot have all of them at the same level and strength all the time. So during a period of your life, perhaps you're going to focus a little bit more on religion. During a period of your time, you're going to focus a little bit more on work. During a period of time, you're going to focus a little bit more about your family. That's normal. So one egregor can drive and help. It has to be very clear in your mind what is the actual egregor you are in, the strongest one. And you use the power of the egregor to help the other elements in your life. For example, right now I'm the working egregor. So I know that I'm gonna turn like 80% of my time, 70% of my time for work. But what I do, I know this. I focus on it. I don't be stressed about that. But I know that if this egregor can drive the other ones to be healthy. If I do the work the way I do, and I do my meditation, I'm gonna have the religion I have because my work is strong. I'm gonna have the money to do charity, for the religion. I'm gonna have money to help my family, to have a babysitter, and to have an egregor help for the other ways. Sometimes an egregor can drive the other ones. You're never gonna have all the egregors, all the groups at the same level of strength. Okay, so we have to understand that, and you have to make one like drive the other ones naturally without getting stressed about it. So for example, my wife right now, she's focusing on family. So she's 80%, 90% of her time is this. I cannot stress too much her because in my agreement with her, I say, hey, you focus in the family egregor now. I'm gonna focus in the work egregor now. Okay, let's do this. Let's make it through. Can I count on you? Let's do it. That's something that you have to understand. Okay. And then, so this is the second lesson about egregores. Thank you so much.